Welcome, Gemini, to your reading. This is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or if you'd rather, Ascendant instead of Rising, Ascendant, depending on which word you prefer using. If this doesn't resonate, as I always say, just completely forget about this reading, completely forget about this video, just bury it under your memories, and just ignore it. I was going to give it a funeral or something because of the death card. So with this death card, I want to say it's so the death card, Knight of Pentacles, Four of Wands. With the death card, I'm seeing this as usually I would say I see this as a change or an ending that is not wanted, and that is the case kind of here as well. But I noticed the horse being very muscly, and it reminded me of like when building muscle. I believe that your muscles tear and rebuild, and that's how they get stronger. So similarly, because I was shuffling some cards and like I shuffled it again, but on this deck, this other deck, there was the death card here as well. At the top of the deck, it was death and rebirth, and I saw it rather than as a death card, as an ending that's unwanted. I saw it as similar to the muscles tearing and being growing back again stronger. Rather than yeah, I saw it kind of like that. So where each time you learn something, a part of you kind of dies, I guess, and gets reborn anew, if that makes sense. So you going through this life journey and changing every time and growing and improving. So yeah, that death card was on top of this deck, but I kind of started shuffling the deck, because it's just satisfying to shuffle cards. I find it satisfying. But you have it here as well. So that's why with this one, I feel like I'm being drawn to the horse more than the rider. If it was the rider, I'd say like the rider looks a lot like the Nicolas Cage movie. Is it Ghost Rider? Yeah, it looks a lot like that. So maybe like is it like an Avenger of Evil? What do you call it? Something like that. So it kind of reminds me of that. If that means anything for some of you. So like fighting to protect people. But anyways, so for you, I'm seeing this as you desiring change, or rather you desiring to become stronger like this horse, so you can maybe help the people around you, to help them move on, because that rider needs that horse to travel faster, to move further, and with how strong that horse is, it will be able to carry the rider's weight. And when I say weight, I mean weight as in experience. That's how I'm talking about weight. Especially with the Ten of Pentacles, I see the weight on that Ten of Pentacles as experience and memories. So yeah, when I say weight, I'm talking about experience and memories. Not the rider, like especially because he's wearing armor as well. So with the armor, I'm seeing that as again weight, but it can actually be weight as in wait a second. Don't like wait to take your time. You have the Knight of Pentacles, but I'm seeing it as weight as in trauma, or being guarded, someone who's either going through a lot or has been through a lot. So you may be dealing with someone who's been through a lot, or is going through a lot, or is gonna go through a lot, and maybe they're gonna need you to help them push forward, I guess. But maybe before you help them, you're gonna be going through this sort of death and rebirth cycle, and every time you're reborn, you're reborn stronger, like muscles. That's how I'm seeing it. But so maybe that's a message for someone who it would help. I don't know. What was I going to say? So some of you, that could actually be a desire of yours. Your desire is to help someone who's close to you, who you care about, to help them to move on from their hardship, to help them carry, maybe even to help them carry their burdens, their hardship, their trauma, to reduce their weight. As I mentioned, how I see weight, especially in this with this deck, actually. So again, for some of you, it could actually be rather than everything I've said, it could actually be like my usual well, it's not my usual interpretation. It's a new interpretation I just gained a few days ago of this deck. Which sign was it that led me to that interpretation? Maybe it was Scorpio, I'm not sure. But anyways, so so my most recent interpretation of this card is an ending that is not wanted, not desired. Well, it can be a breakup, but it doesn't have to be a breakup. But this is something you're desiring though. So rather than an ending you're not desiring, because for the other sign I read it for, this card was here, so that was what their partner was desiring, an ending that maybe they didn't like. But for you, it's an ending that maybe your person's not gonna like. So you want something to end, but something that your person isn't really gonna like. They don't want it to end. It might even cause some upset and maybe sadness, not despair. So yeah, that's like adding to the weight as well. Sadness, despair, feeling hurt. That's adding to the weight. So maybe that's part of it. Being strong enough so not to add that sort of weight to someone else. But a lot of talk of support and yeah, I guess support's the right word for it. So there's a lot of talk about support with this card I'm seeing. And being able to support, being strong enough to support someone else. Because emotional weight is very heavy. So Knight of Pentacles, so your partner is likely desiring stability, stability, but taking their time. They don't want to rush things. They want to take their time to enjoy the relationship, to like walk across, like basically walking across a park, walking along the beach, taking their time, like enjoying the view, enjoying the moments with you. That's if you've met them or not. That's if they're a crush or not. Maybe they're just seeking someone who they can explore slowly and get to know slowly and take their time getting to know. That's if you haven't met this person. So again, they're looking for someone who they can take their time getting to know, who maybe will enjoy life together with them slowly and not rush through it. Maybe they can build something slowly together. It doesn't have to be like a house or a family. It could be something like maybe a project and building a small project together. It could be something like that, or a hobby. Maybe building a house made of toothpicks or something. I don't know. So then the fourth one, I'm seeing that your future together is full of joy. So okay, your both your futures. It doesn't have to be your future together, which is a few different ways you can see the words when you look deeply into words. Either way, there is joy and happiness and gladness in the future. Celebration, maybe going away to another country and celebrating. I'm seeing because when I look at the 10 of because interesting that I did mention the 10 of Wands earlier. So when I look at the 10 of Wands, I see a man carrying burden again and trying to reach his goal. But with these people dancing, and his ahead of him is a castle. So I'm seeing that castle as a representation of his goals. And these people are dancing and partying. I guess, is it in front or behind a castle? So I am seeing this as someone who has either they're close to their goal and they're celebrating, or they've reached their goals. Like, for example, let's say you want to build a house, and this card is like representing you having a barbecue at the back of in your backyard or something. Just an example. So yeah, maybe that could be like what this card is saying for some of you. And you do have like the Eight of Pentacles as well. I'm seeing focusing on your goal, focusing on yourself, and focusing on what you're interested in, and studying it, learning more about it. Maybe even exploring the darker sides of things for some of you. Maybe exploring the supernatural as well. I mean, it's almost Halloween. I do see this as a very Halloween-y kind of card. Very beautiful, very amazing energy in this card for Halloween as well. And right off the way I placed it on top of this card, the Death card, I thought of Deathly Hollows, kind of like Pixie Hollows. So at the top of the deck, after that Page of Wands, then the Ace of Swords. Interesting, a new beginning. So with every ending comes a new beginning. And I am seeing this as a new beginning, which has been initiated as well. So again, you doing something or them doing something, ending something, which leads to another new beginning, and achieving goals, speaking your truth. Like I am seeing this. I mentioned before. I see this as like kind of like an eagle looking down at a map from a bird's eye view, and knowing what the whole terrain looks like. So I guess it's also maybe for some of you gaining a vision or a taster of what your future can be like. Of what it might be like. For some of you, it's about seeing everything as a whole, or getting the bigger picture of things. Because when you're walking along a forest, it looks different to when you're seeing it from a bird's eye view. It looks very different. Sometimes it looks even smaller. When you're actually in the forest walking, it feels longer. So that could be about daydreaming as well. And after that, you have the Tower card. So I mentioned before, something that leads to a huge change that leads to turmoil. Not hardship, but like I see this as a mental breakdown as well, because the tower is literally breaking. So I do see this as a mental breakdown. So maybe a cause of the death card. That's why I'm not sure. You have the Nine of Cups, the Two of Cups, so satisfaction, contracts, commitment. You have the Ten of Cups, family life, again completion. You have the Ace of Cups. Ooh, lots of cups. All these cups. Is it 4 cups? So this is, it goes like this. First, okay, where is it? What was the first of the, oh, yeah, first on the deck, then I think second, third, fourth, then all of these after. I just want, like, I felt like mentioning them because they're so interesting how they're all there. Yes, I'll take them back now. Yeah, just in case you're interested, you have the shadow side after that. So I do see this shadow side as sort of part of the weight as well, that weight I was talking about before. And then under the deck, you have the Two of Swords, so a huge major choice. And I feel like the choice is going to be up to you. So there's a choice you may have to make, and it's going to be up to you. And you may have one that you're really desiring, and that's with what I'm saying with the Death card. You ending something that causes this energy for someone else. But whatever you're ending could lead to some sort of new beginning, because you do have 2 new beginning cards. It could be 2 separate new beginnings with the 2 different swords, or it could be one new beginning that contains these 2 sort of energies. I feel like I was going to say something else. I was going to say maybe there's like 2 people, I'm not sure, involved in this reading. And I said that because it could be that there's someone else who is there's someone who maybe you're currently with, who you may be thinking of ending things with, for some of you, and there's maybe someone else on the way, but they're taking their time. They're coming in slowly, or they like to take their time, so they don't like to rush through life. And you know the things I mentioned before about what they desire in a partner. So maybe that's the message for some of you. So there's 2 people, and one of them you may be thinking of ending things with, and one of them is taking their time coming into your life, or taking their time making a choice, or taking their time I know, it could be taking the time with anything, to be honest. What else is at the bottom of the deck? So you have the Page of Swords, then the Sun, and then the 7 of Wands, and then the Queen of Swords. So again, truth, independence, receiving something as well, receiving abundance, being true to yourself. 7 of Wands, competition. You so one of you being highly sought after, or I guess a bit of a jealousy energy as well. I do see with this card, jealousy energy somewhere. So either jealous energy or someone being highly sought after. Then the Sun card, I do see this as being innocent, maybe a bit naive. I am seeing this as naivety. I don't normally see this as naivety, but I am seeing this as naivety. So maybe being a bit naive. Maybe thinking that, maybe for some of you thinking that, I don't know. Maybe not realizing, actually, nah, I don't know. I guess it could be not realizing how much words, although it's maybe underestimating how much impact your words can have. That could be it. That's it. For some of you, it could be naivety of another person, not you, of someone else, or a joint naivety. For some of you, it doesn't have to be naivety. It could just be, rather than being naive, it could just be having, being optimistic, or having good luck coming ahead. You have that, this card. So then this again, so it's knowledge seeking, things like that. And I'm going to leave this here. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this did resonate. In case you're curious, I mean, at the moment you have this card on top of the deck, in case you're curious. Then you have the 5 of Cups, and at the bottom of the deck you have the 10 of Pentacles, and then you have the High Priestess. So I didn't shuffle that card for this reading. I just shuffled it because I wanted to, but since I brought it up anyways, I'm just gonna, what I was like, but when I mentioned the Death card, that was before I shuffled it again, out of not boredom, but just because it was satisfying to shuffle. Anyways, thank you for watching. Hopefully this does help in some way.